There is a $2 adjustment hiding in plain sight that can slash your electric bill by an astonishing amount. This is not achieved through magic, not by bypassing meters, and not with expensive installations, but by subtly controlling when and how your devices draw electricity. Most people assume their bills are only determined by how many devices they own or how often they use them. However, the truth is far more nuanced. Utilities track not just total consumption, but peak demand, load patterns, and instantaneous draw. The way your home draws electricity can silently inflate your bills, and almost nobody is told how to manage it. If you have ever stared at your electric bill and wondered why it keeps climbing, even though nothing in your routine has changed, you are not alone. Millions of households overpay simply because they do not understand one critical factor: load behavior. This is not about solar panels, rewiring your home, or fancy energy-saving devices. This is about a tiny, inexpensive tweak, something you can implement in minutes, that fundamentally changes how your household draws power and can reduce bills immediately. To understand this, you need to know what an electric bill actually measures. Many assume it is just the total number of kilowatt hours used in a month. That is only part of the story. Utilities often apply higher rates during peak demand periods or calculate indirect costs based on your load patterns. Even if your rate is flat, the way your devices draw electricity affects efficiency and how effectively your home uses power. When multiple high-draw devices operate at the same time, it creates a spike that increases the strain on circuits and the system as a whole, which can result in higher costs over time. Consider a typical morning scenario. The water heater kicks on, your space heater or furnace runs, coffee machines start brewing, lights turn on, and maybe the microwave or toaster is active, all within a few minutes. Each of these devices draws significant power, and together they create a sudden demand spike. Even short bursts like this, when repeated daily, silently inflate your energy costs. The same happens in the evening. Cooking appliances start running, heating or cooling systems activate. Laundry machines and electronics run together, creating another spike. The system becomes inefficient because the load is chaotic and concentrated rather than smooth. Engineers and energy experts have known for decades that smoothing these spikes reduces consumption and lowers costs. Factories and commercial buildings use sophisticated load management systems to achieve this efficiency, but in homes these principles are rarely applied. That is exactly where the two-trick works. This is not a secret device. It is a simple, affordable method to control when appliances draw power, preventing costly spikes. Over time, this lowers bills, reduces circuit stress, and improves efficiency. The concept is deceptively simple. Stagger your load. Instead of running multiple high-power appliances simultaneously, introduce small delays or separate their operation times. This can be done with mechanical timers, low-cost plug adapters, or disciplined manual scheduling. Many of these solutions cost around $2 to $5, and the tools are often already available. The trick is not the device itself, it is how you use it. Imagine your water heater turns on at the same time as your HVAC system. Both are high-draw appliances. Together, they create a peak that stresses the system. If you delay one by 10 to 15 minutes, the spike is smoothed. Total energy remains almost the same, but the load pattern changes dramatically over time. This reduces inefficiencies, smooths out electricity demand, and can directly lower costs. It also reduces stress on appliances and extends their lifespan. This approach is not about cutting comfort. You still use all your appliances, heat your space, cook your meals, and charge your devices. The difference is timing. By adjusting when devices turn on, you move from chaotic, high-speed consumption to efficient, steady patterns. Electrical systems perform better under consistent loads rather than sudden spikes. The materials needed are minimal. A simple plug-in timer, commonly sold for lamps, can be repurposed. These timers allow scheduling, setting on and off times, and spacing out activation. For instance, the water heater can run earlier or after the HVAC. Laundry or cooking devices can be delayed slightly. Even minor adjustments compound over time. Another approach uses smart plugs, which offer more precise control, but the $2 method stays accessible. The point is awareness, not sophistication. When you manage load behavior, you manage cost. Historical context illustrates this principle. Early homes, when first electrified, avoided running multiple appliances because wiring limitations made spikes dangerous. Modern systems are stronger, but the same principle applies. Spikes reduce efficiency and increase cost. Proper sequencing optimizes usage without sacrificing comfort. Consider a typical household with an electric water heater, an HVAC system, a washing machine, and kitchen appliances. Normally these overlap, but with the two-trick timing logic applies. The water heater starts earlier. The HVAC avoids kitchen overlap. Laundry is scheduled away from peak usage. No complex programming is required, just simple sequencing. The effect is subtle at first, but becomes noticeable over weeks. Circuits experience less stress, appliances operate more efficiently, and energy costs reduce even with flat-rate billing. Smoothing load reduces inefficiencies and unnecessary energy draw. Phantom overlap is another issue. Devices cycle automatically, such as refrigerators, HVAC compressors, and water heaters. If these cycles coincide, many spikes occur. By managing major contributors, you reduce overlaps. The home's electricity profile becomes smoother and more predictable. The method is entirely safe if done correctly. Ensure timers are rated for the appliance. High-powered devices need proper ratings to prevent overheating. Safety is crucial. The goal is smooth operation, not overloading circuits. Start small. Identify the highest draw appliances, such as HVAC units, water heaters, dryers, and ovens. Introduce minor timing adjustments to stagger operation. Even 10 minutes matters. Observe patterns over a few days, then refine. This is not a one-time fix. It is optimization. Behavioral adjustments also help. Avoid running appliances together where unnecessary. Charge devices off-peak. Limit non-essential equipment during peak periods. Combined with timing, these habits amplify savings. The greatest spikes occur during extreme conditions, like hot summers or cold winters. When heating or cooling dominates, slight thermostat adjustments or preconditioning spaces reduces spikes without discomfort. The principle remains timing over deprivation. The beauty lies in simplicity. No contracts are required, no expensive devices, and no third-party reliance. A small device and awareness shift usage from chaotic to optimized. Over time, it works quietly, saving money in the background without constant monitoring. Once understood, it is impossible to ignore. Each time devices start together, the spike becomes visible. Staggering creates a smoother curve and more predictable energy use. This awareness changes behavior, making optimization automatic. At this stage, you have set the foundation. You have implemented staggering, adjusted high-draw devices, and observed smoother usage. Now comes refinement, fine-tuning sequences, making seasonal adjustments, and combining this with other hacks over weeks and months. Small changes compound into significant savings, sometimes cutting bills drastically in favorable scenarios. This method is repeatable, safe, and accessible. It does not depend on technology or subscriptions. A $2 adjustment permanently improves energy consumption, reliably preventing spikes and lowering costs. Now that basic staggering is in place, the next step is refining the method for maximum efficiency. This involves identifying patterns in your household's energy consumption and adjusting devices accordingly. Not all appliances behave the same way. Some have short bursts, while others maintain a steady draw. Understanding the type of load each appliance creates allows you to sequence them optimally. Ensuring no two high-draw devices ever operate simultaneously is the key. The two trick is about precision, not guesswork. Take heating and cooling, for example. HVAC systems cycle on and off automatically, but the timing can be influenced by adjusting thermostats slightly or using programmable controllers. You can shift cycles away from peak periods or high-usage windows. The effect is cumulative. Minor adjustments that reduce overlaps by even a few minutes can, over weeks, translate to measurable reductions in your bill. Combined with staggered high-draw appliances like ovens, dryers, or water heaters, the home's total load profile becomes smoother and more efficient. Another hidden factor is phantom loads. Many devices draw power even when idle, such as televisions, chargers, and game consoles. Individually, they do not seem significant, but collectively they create unnecessary consumption. The two-trick addresses this by encouraging the use of mechanical timers or simple power strips with switches. By cutting power to idle devices automatically, you prevent wasted energy from ever being drawn. This small adjustment adds up, especially over months. Consider lighting. LED lights are highly efficient, but running dozens of lights unnecessarily still contributes to the overall load. By pairing lights with simple timers or motion sensors, energy is used only when needed. This reduces spikes and ensures power is not drawn unnecessarily over a full month. The effect may seem subtle, but when combined with other load management techniques, it contributes significantly to savings. The method also applies to water heating. Traditional water heaters consume massive amounts of electricity, especially during peak usage. Many people have their heaters running continuously or on fixed schedules that coincide with other high-draw appliances. Using a basic timer to slightly shift heating cycles can prevent overlap with other devices, ensuring energy is consumed in smaller, more manageable bursts. This reduces both peak demand and overall inefficiency. Laundry is another area of opportunity. Dryers and washing machines draw considerable power in short bursts. Scheduling loads to avoid overlap with other high-draw appliances or staggering loads throughout the day reduces spikes and prevents cumulative surges. Even moving laundry by 30 to 60 minutes from typical peak periods can create a smoother consumption curve, lowering costs over time. Kitchen appliances often create simultaneous demand peaks, particularly during meal preparation. Multiple devices like ovens, microwaves, and coffee machines can activate at the same time, spiking demand. By implementing small delays or staggering start times using timers or manual planning, these spikes are flattened. The cumulative effect reduces strain on circuits and, in some billing setups, directly lowers the bill cost. Fans, heaters, and space conditioners are another hidden source of spikes. By programming these to cycles slightly offset from other appliances, load overlaps are minimized. Small adjustments here, repeated daily, contribute to a more consistent electrical profile across the home. The method extends even to entertainment electronics. Game consoles, computers, and televisions draw variable power, especially when multiple units are used simultaneously. Pairing these devices with timers or simply staggering usage times ensures the load is distributed rather than concentrated. It is not inconvenient. It is a shift in awareness combined with a simple $2 device that leads to long-term savings. Even holiday decorations, often ignored, can create spikes if used in clusters. By staggering start times for lights or inflatables, electrical demand spreads more evenly, preventing concentrated surges. The principle remains the same. Small shifts in timing result in smoother consumption. The two-trick also works in combination with minor behavioral changes. Turning off lights in empty rooms, unplugging devices not in use, and using appliances sequentially rather than simultaneously compound the effect. Awareness alone contributes to smoother usage, and the small devices act as reinforcement. Together, they form a system that maximizes efficiency without reducing comfort. Over time, these adjustments create measurable results. Circuit breakers experience less stress, high-draw appliances operate more efficiently, and peak demand surcharges are minimized where applicable. Even in homes with flat-rate electricity, reduced inefficiency translates to lower total consumption. Users consistently report savings from 10% to 50% depending on previous usage patterns, billing structures, and adherence to the method. A key advantage of this approach is accessibility. There is no need for expensive energy audits, installation of complex equipment, or reliance on third-party services. The $2 adjustment can be applied universally with minimal technical knowledge. It is safe, repeatable, and completely reversible if needed. Looking at long-term benefits, appliances last longer when circuits are not stressed by repeated simultaneous spikes. Breakers and wiring are less likely to overheat, which translates to fewer repairs and replacements. Essentially, the two-trick not only reduces costs, but also protects your home infrastructure over time. Another benefit is predictability. By understanding and controlling when devices draw power, you gain insight into your household's energy profile. You can anticipate high load periods and make small adjustments proactively. This creates a system that works automatically, reducing surprises on your bill. Monitoring is optional but useful. Basic energy meters or smart plugs can track the effect of staggered usage. You will see how minor timing adjustments directly affect spikes in consumption. This feedback allows you to optimize further, refining schedules for each appliance based on real data. The two-trick also scales. Whether in a small apartment or a large multi-room home, the principle remains the same. Identify high-draw devices, stagger start times, smooth load patterns, and observe results. Small adjustments in multiple locations compound, generating significant savings without major lifestyle changes. Implementation is simple. Step 1. Identify the top 3 to 5 energy-intensive appliances. Step 2. Assign staggered start times using timers or plugs. Step 3. Observe patterns over several days. Step 4. Refine timing to maximize the smoothing of electrical demand. Step 5. Repeat for less intensive appliances to optimize overall efficiency. The power of this method is in its universality. It works for heating and cooling, water heating, laundry, kitchen, entertainment, and even decorative or seasonal devices. Anywhere multiple devices operate simultaneously, there is an opportunity to reduce spikes and smooth consumption. Safety and practicality are key. Always ensure timers or plugs are rated for the appliances they control. Avoid overloading outlets. The goal is controlled, efficient operation, not pushing limits. Applied correctly, this method is fully safe and completely reversible. Over weeks and months, small changes compound. You may start with minor savings, but as staggered patterns become habitual and reinforced across multiple devices, total consumption decreases noticeably. Circuits operate more efficiently, appliances last longer, and energy waste is minimized. The best part is that this method costs almost nothing. A simple $2 timer, minor awareness shifts, and sequencing are all that is required. No subscriptions, no installation, and no waiting for technology to become available. It is immediate, practical, and sustainable. Finally, the principle is repeatable. Once you understand load behavior, you can apply the same technique across different homes, rooms, and devices. Seasonal adjustments, such as shifting heating or cooling schedules in summer or winter, maximize efficiency year-round. The two-trick is not a one-time hack. It is a long-term strategy that works continuously without requiring constant attention. By staggering loads, controlling phantom usage, and optimizing timing, the $2 adjustment transforms chaotic electricity consumption into a predictable, efficient, and cost-effective system. Over time, it can slash your electric bill significantly, protect your appliances, and create a smoother, more reliable electrical environment. With minimal investment, anyone can apply this method, see immediate benefits, and maintain them indefinitely. It is simple, accessible, safe, and powerful. The two-trick reveals that controlling your energy is not about reducing comfort. It is about using power intelligently, something utilities never emphasize, but that can save you substantial money over time. If this strategy for mastering your home's energy efficiency has changed the way you look at your monthly expenses, please subscribe and like this video. We are dedicated to uncovering the practical logic and hidden methods that help you take control of your environment. Start optimizing your household today. The next essential guide to smarter living will be released soon.